Okay, so today's book is by Cruz. It's Love Your Life, Not Theirs, 7 Money Habits for Living the Life You Want. So I am actually on a financial literacy journey. I'm trying to learn about how to be better at making a budget or following a budget or things like that. I just want to try to improve that area of my life. So I figured I would start with this book. I've done some other research prior to this, but I love to read, so why not get a book for it, right? So I'm sure you've heard of Dave Ramsey, and this is actually his daughter. So a lot of the principles are the same, you know, have your emergency fund and then the debt snowball and all of that fun stuff. But the thing that I really liked about this book specifically is it's a lot of common sense stuff. It's not starting from scratch and, you know, if you have no idea what to do, this is a good place to start. Some of the things she talks about are debt and spending and saving and giving, same as Dave Ramsey's principles and things like that. But a lot of this stuff is common sense stuff, which is not something that we think about in our everyday to-day life. So they're very good reminders of, my favorite is don't compare yourself to others. Like, just because somebody's posting stuff on Facebook and Instagram doesn't mean they're living their best life. You never know what is under that exterior. So I thought that that was really one that stuck with me. And she's a recent parent. She has a very young daughter. So comparisons are in every part of your life. And now that she has a kid, she talks about how parents like try to outdo each other, and like you can't worry about things like that. So it's not only financially related, but life related as well. So I thought they were some really good principles to kind of stand by and live by and remember. I thought it was a really easy read. So she has it broken down into the 7 chapters. They're not really chapters, I guess, but then there's like subsections of each. So it's really it's a fast read, and she doesn't use a bunch of like really difficult jargon or anything like that. So yeah, there were a couple quotes that I read and I was like, oh yeah, definitely. One of them that I never thought was, quote, "A budget is simply telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went." What? Never thought of that. Never thought of it like that. Like, you can control exactly what you do with your money. It's not like, yeah, it goes to things that you buy and things that you can't live without, like your mortgage or your rent or, you know, electric and food and stuff like that. But as far as other things, you're the one that's in control of it, not anyone else. Duh. And then the other one, I am of age to have kids, and you know, my friends are starting to have kids and all of that, and I look at them, or I look at people online, and I'm like, you complain all the time about how you don't have any money, yet you're having another kid, or how do you have the money to pay for the stuff for the kids that you have? So I think I would never be able to afford to have a kid. Like, I can really afford to take care of myself. That's how I feel. So things like that have like really been stressing me out, especially as I get older. So she says in here, quote, "If you wait until you have enough money to have kids, you may never have them." Bombshell, right? Never thought of it like that. If you're ready to have a kid, just have a kid. You might have to tighten your budget a little bit or figure out how to make it work, but you figure it out. Like, oh my gosh, never thought of it that way. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to have kids because who can afford it? But I thought that that was a really wow moment for me reading that. So anyway, yeah, I think this is a good place to start if you are on your financial journey and just want to learn a little bit more and like where to go from there. I wouldn't say this is like the end all be all book of books in this area, but like I said, I think it was easy enough to read. It wasn't like a big waste of my time or anything. So yeah, I liked it. There's a lot of concepts though that I don't agree with, and I will say that, but that's for, you know, any self-help book, life coach type of thing. I still read it just to see what their perspective is. I think it's good to get another perspective and to see how another person may be living, just because I think it's interesting, and maybe eventually I can apply that to my life. But yeah, like I said, it's just a lot of common sense stuff, and I think a lot of it is a good reminder of what you should really keep in mind and keep in the forefront. All right, there we have it.